Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for Lightworkers Secrets to Success. And today we have Angi Colwell, and she is one of our dear, dear friends. And we're so thankful and blessed to have her here with us today. She wants to tell us why she's so excited about a new course that she has developed for teens. And so we're very, very excited. But let me tell you a little bit about Angi. So Angi has extensive experience working with adults and youth with various types of disabilities, along with their families. She has experience in corporate America as a financial analyst, an ABA, a psychology degree, and also being a certified life coach. So with all of that knowledge, she has developed this awesome course that she has offering to Global Strong and the members there and the teens that are a part of that. And I think you're opening up for kind of the world, right? Other teams that may not be part of Global Strong. Okay. So just my understanding that you are going to start this course in January, correct? The first week of January?
On January 11th, we will be starting the course and launching it again.
Nice.
So I'm just so excited.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about it. Tell us about the financial fitness. What does that look like? What does that mean? And why should kids take the course?
Well, for our kids, it's a lot different than financial fitness for an adult, because a lot of times our teens that I'm finding are not getting the financial education at school, and then they're also not getting it in the home. And it's often parents are just so busy, and even parents sometimes don't really know what to teach their kids. So we developed this course to help the children learn about understanding the basics of money, what it is, why you should put money back out of your, that you receive each time, a portion. And the kids' portion is a lot different than an adult portion because they don't have the daily living expenses that an adult would have. So now is the perfect time for them to be able to create that good foundation of having that money put back now that they can put a bigger portion back for their education and their lives down the road on what they would like to do. So we go over, money as a stewardship, saving money, even tithing, giving to your donation charities and stuff and giving to those places. And it's not you have to pick, you can only give a donation or tithe to wherever. It's wherever the teen feels it's the most needed.
That's nice. Have you interviewed any teens yet on that topic, on what they think that is needed? I just know sometimes my kids will pick around the holidays, they'll pick a family to adopt and we'll buy presents. So, I mean, we feel like that's kind of a tithing. So it doesn't always necessarily have to go to a church. And I think a lot of people they think that with tithing, but, to give 10% of what you make and pay it forward to others. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And I know that I've talked to a couple of other teens and with the parents and stuff about it. And a couple of the parents weren't quite as receptive, but they didn't really understand the whole financial fitness themselves. But I know for my kids, we donate to all kinds of charities in need. We did a Santa toy run that Global Strong was a sponsor for. And then we did the toy run and stuff, and we donated cash to help. And we raised over $9,000.
Wow.
The group did.
Wow, that's nice. So a lot of kids will be able to get some presents this holiday season.
Yes, over 900 kids will get presents this year.
Nice. So do they each get one present, or do they have two, or do you know?
They get several. They spend a certain amount per child.
Okay, nice.
Is what they're doing.
Awesome. That's awesome. Why are you so passionate about teaching kids this information?
I am passionate about this because over my time of working, I worked as a job developer and a coach with people with disabilities and teens coming out of high school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I had so many teens that thought you just went to the ATM, stuck the card in, and your money spit out. They had no comprehension of mom and dad had to work for that money. It has to be, you know, um, budgeted. There are bills to pay, you know, gas, food, you know, whatever. And I would sit down and we would have a conversation over, no, it's not, it doesn't work that way. And I would ask them, we would sit down and compute how much, say your mom makes 15 bucks an hour times 40 hours, and then you only get 80% of that pay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, now your rent. So we would sit down and do a spending plan. And so it really helped them, I guess, understand a little bit better that, you know, it's not free money,
Mm-hmm.
and that you have to have a good stewardship over that money, or you're not going to have a house or clothes or food or whatever. But it cracked me up. But on the flip side of that, I also wanted to do the financial fitness because I worked with adults that had disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
and parents thought that, you know, their kids that had disabilities couldn't learn these things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's not true. They can learn fundamentals just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that was another reasoning behind, I wanted to get the kids across the board, whether they have disabilities or not, and be able to teach the program. So for my kids with some of their disabilities, I do have to tweak the program a little bit for them to explain it in a different way.
Yeah, I know. When I was a house manager for an adult family, well, it was a family home for kids, young adults. There's 3 males that lived there. They're like 19, 21, and 21, and it was crazy. But I remember we'd have Sunday, I called them Sunday family meetings, and they loved it. And we'd all sit around the table, and I'd say, okay, like this is what's going on. And we'd do our menu for the week. And I'd say, this is how much money you have. And we'd all like pick and choose what they wanted. Cause otherwise they think, oh, I got my money and now I want to spend it. It's like, wait, hold on. Let's look at this. And we'd have the budget in front of us. And I'd say, okay, this is how much money you have, but then we have to pay this, 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 and this, and this is how much you have left over. And then I did that with all the boys. So they kind of just saw everything out on paper. And I'd say, now, I know you want to go and spend this on all the stuff, but this has to last you for the whole month. So we could, I'd give an option, like, do you want to spend all of it right now? And then you have nothing for the rest of the month? Or would you are you choosing to like maybe break it up into 4 weeks? And then you can, you know, I don't know, 20 bucks a week or whatever it is. And then you have money each week to do something fun. And cause each boy liked to do something different. Like one liked to go to the movies, one liked to, you know, whatever. So, and I would just break it down like that. And they were really receptive to it, but nobody else had ever did that for them. And they would have behavioral issues, and they're like, you know, I want my money. And they had dual diagnoses. So, cognitively, they were very, like, you know, maybe like, I don't know, between 8 and 10. Yeah. But they were in these big man bodies. And so I'm like, all right. So I had to really think about how to get this across to them so they weren't having like physical meltdowns. Yeah. And because that can be a little bit challenging. So I was like, before I got there, like the police were there all the time. The other staff would call the police because they'd be punching holes in the walls or whatever. And I'm like, okay, what is going on here? And I had to switch that around for them. But you can see it as a behavioral side of things too, that maybe if they learned just a little bit of that, they could really, it could go a long way. So.
Yep. And that's exactly why I wanted to teach this, is because I have worked in the homes like you. Mm-hmm. And I've seen, you know, it's so much easier if you explain it, but it's so much easier for them to grasp it if they're younger than when you're waiting until their 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s. Yeah, right. Now they've never had somebody break it down for them. So it's so much easier if we can start with our youth and set those good foundations.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. So initially you're going to open this up for teens. So what is the age group that your target is?
I would say most people, it would be 13 to 14
Okay.
on up to 18,
Okay.
19, even your younger teen adults.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically also on where they are mentality wise
Yeah.
and everything as well, because, we have 14-year-olds here,
Mhm.
13, 14-year-olds that are getting jobs
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and
Yeah.
everything. So for them to be able to have the foundation is perfect.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. What do you think that they'll get out of the class the most? Like, what's the most important thing? If you could only teach, if you only had like a one day to teach them, what do you think would be like the most important golden nugget that they would take from the class, or you would
I
teach
would
from the
say
course?
I would say definitely that they have many options, but the most important thing is that they don't have to be in a box. You know, because the book also teaches about entrepreneurship and business ownership and the difference between being an employee.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's an overall structure of, you're not in a box.
Mm-hmm.
There are limitless possibilities. And if you use the system, you can have an amazing life.
Nice. I love that. Adam, did you have a question?
Well, you actually stole my question, but
Oh, sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, it is a good question. And what, Angie, what's the I'm trying to come up with a question off the seat of my pants now. So what is the most exciting part for you doing this?
For me, the most exciting part is just teaching the teens overall, because nowadays teens are put in this little tiny box, I feel like, and they're not given any options. They're not taught they have options or that they could have a better life, and not given the tools to be able to create that. With this course, we're giving them absolute tools, and we've just blown the box completely wide open for them.
And what's your reason why for doing this course? Is there a reason?
I would say mostly it's for my own kids and their friends and different ones. I have 2 children. My son has Down syndrome, and I have watched the system continually try to put him in a box. And Mason actually has been working the system. So he saves his money, and although he doesn't have a business or anything at this time, he's doing the system. And my daughter is absolutely obsessed with our book. And so she's already 14 years old with ADHD. And Jenna has already started laying out the foundations from the book on her own, period.
Cool.
So,
well, that is
every
exciting.
kid will be excited as Jenna is?
I don't know if every kid would be, but I mean, Jenna just cracked me up. I got the book, and it was supposed to be a shared book. She took the book, would not let me have it back. So I had to purchase my own book to be able to read, to teach the class and everything. Yeah. And she got she requested a lockbox so she could divide up all of her money from us. And she sat down and started a business plan based on this book.
Nice. What does she want to do?
She wants to do nail art.
Oh yeah, love it.
And paint nails and stuff. So we were discussing it, and she was like, well, what's the best way for me to make the most money on this, Mom? And I said, well, don't think out of the box, because most people go to work in a nail salon.
Yeah. Well, one thing she can do, and I don't know if you've thought of this already, but you can go to the beauty supply store and get a box of nails, and then you put them on popsicle sticks, and then she can just like learn how to do details and artwork, and come up with her own special pieces so that she gets better and better.
We've done that, and we have nails everywhere.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
But we did think about her we thought about having a mobile van,
Oh, wow.
you know, and then she could go to places like nursing homes
Yeah.
and different things and offer, because a lot of those people, and that's what we were her and I were talking and discussing as she was creating her business plan, nail down people that can't get in to the nail salon.
Yeah.
You know, having a mobile business would allow her to go to all those people and pick up all those clients to do their nails.
One thing I would suggest is, because I work in senior care, if you could get a couple different like assisted livings or retirement facilities, and just talk to their activity director and say, hey, because most seniors aren't going to want the whole shebang. They're going to want either some plain colors or just painting, and they want more like a nail file and a clean or whatever, paint their nails, and just like say it's just a $5 charge, because it's just like a real quick real quick thing. But she could, each person may take like 5 to 10 minutes, and she could make $5 per person. That's an easy, maybe $30 an hour, so she could really do that. And some of the only reason I'm suggesting $5, because sometimes they are on a very fixed income, but they do want to get their nails done.
Yes, so. I work for the Medicaid system as well.
Yes. So I think $5 is pretty reasonable if she's coming like once a month or something like that.
Yeah, because a lot of my people work on a very extremely tight fixed income.
Exactly.
And stuff. And that's why I was telling her, I was like, different ones, or even people that are stuck at home that are independent living, but maybe they can't get out because they're wheelchair bound.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, great idea. Love it.
Well, and I was just thinking too, the other thing is, like you had mentioned earlier, is so many kids don't realize that they have options.
Yes.
And for a lot of times, preteen to teen, there's that feeling because they've got school telling them what to do, and the teachers telling them what to do, and parents, and everybody's telling them what to do. And so there's that sense of not having any control over their own life. So when they learn this, the financial piece of it that you're teaching them, that gives them some area of their life that they have control over.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And for a lot of kids, that can be really just enlightening for them and give them so much self-confidence. And self-confidence is such a critical piece of so many people's life, and that lacking of. And I know, like this time of year, also they're also doing, like, a lot of times there's craft fairs and little booths and stuff, and so she could even go and just get some ideas from what other people are doing, even if she's not ready to do yet, or look at like the stickers that they put on and some of the ideas that they have there because she could even do something simple with just plain polish, and then like the glitter pens or whatever that you can the markers that you can draw on. There's just a lot of options to get her started, right?
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to figure out on what all she can do. But we are going to be living in a tiny house, so she knows that she has to keep her stuff contained, I guess, is where I'm trying to go.
But it's a good lesson, right? It's a good lesson, so she'll learn to, first of all, how to manage the money, and then how to budget the expenses that she's going to have, and then that difference when she has the revenue coming in. So that's a huge piece that a lot of adults don't even understand that piece, right? And so for a teenager to get that, that's going to be, and I think the other neat piece, because we know each other, is that when you're teaching these for this youth, you're also allowing a parent to participate with them. So the parent is seeing, so they don't have to worry about you're teaching them some off the wall stuff. They're actually going to be able to be there as well. So they could vicariously learn something they may not know.
Well, and that's my hope, is that the parents will participate just as much as the teens. So if they have any questions or, whatever, then we can answer those questions. And, maybe we're going to teach things that the parents don't know. Who knows? Or maybe we'll teach, they're going to ask why, well, maybe they never thought about their teens being able to run a business or something, rather than going mainstream to a college or whatever.
What do you think the number one thing that any teen or any adult should learn sooner than later?
definitely the right way about financial fitness.
Which
I have
is
watched paying yourself first is number one, and keeping that money long term. Because I mean, all of us have been there where before we learned the system and how to do it. My husband and I lived paycheck to paycheck and everything like that. And I want to give our teens a better foundation and a better life starting out, so they didn't have to struggle like we did as an adult for years.
okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, this course obviously rings true to my heart so deeply. You know that is that
Yes.
I felt that I obviously haven't got the financial education, even though my mom told me. It's different when your parents tell you opposed to when you learn it in school or learn it in real life.
Mhm.
And, hopefully that we can definitely start a trend where we're going and what we're creating and the new world as it's about to unfold, putting those people in a driver's seat to be not surviving financially anymore, but thriving financially.
That's exactly what I want.
Me too. Awesome.
Thank you, Angie, so much. We're excited. Please let us know how we can get this information out to our viewers and out to our social media. And if anyone's listening to this now or watching the replay, please reach out to us so that you can get your teen into this class or your young adult. Very, very good information. Thank you, Angie. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe to our page, and we will be back next Monday with another person to interview.